Okay, so let's start with just getting the basic shapes on. The head is more of like a squarish like oval shape. So a good thing, just make a circle just so you know what like kind of the general size of your head. How wide you kind of want it to be, but you don't really have to do that. This is what I do. So just for the head, I would do more of like one of these shapes. Just kind of a rectangle. That's the more general size of the head or shape of the head. Uh, the center line just to help you like see the center and better see like be symmetrical about it. So now we got this like kind of basic head shape. We can draw the neck too a little bit. Also kind of just make that. Try not to make it too tube-like because then it looks a little unnatural. I would say. This is known as a planar head. This helps us see all the planes of the face. I'll explain that in a little bit. So now that we have this little sketch of the head, that's kind of thing, we can start really nailing down some more details. So we can see this jaw kind of goes this way. We have the chin, so just mark down where the chin is, and then just kind of do a basic like straight line. Don't do like one of these, because then it'll look kind of choppy and you'll be less confident in making lines. So just do a quick line, and then you can just adjust it. And then we have chin, the jaw. Now, this is gonna help you for placing stuff. So your eyes, like where do they go? A good way to see it is halfway through your head and halfway through that. So this is gonna be generally where your eyes are gonna be, I think, right here. Am I doing it? Yeah. So your eyes would be here. Now, your eyes generally are gonna be where your ears are gonna line up. So like your ears, if you're going straight on, it'll be a little lower. But the ears usually line up with the eyebrows, like this, and then the bottom of the nose. If you see this picture of this woman right here, like from a side view, the whatchamacallit, the ear is usually around the top of the ear lines up with the eyebrows. The bottom of the ear lines up with the bottom of her nose. So like that'll help you like kind of see where the ear should be placed, but it'll also help you with like placing the other features and stuff. And even just with that, you'll get a semi good head. And then just one of these. Then we have like a very basic shape of like a head already. Fucking cat dies. So yeah, so the first third, this is where your eyes and then your eyebrows will be. Then this third right here is where your nose would be, if I'm remembering right. I could just be teaching proportions completely wrong, but that's okay. And then halfway through this third right here is where your mouth would be. Now, people make the mistake a lot of when they draw lips, they kind of make one of these shapes, you know, to make lips. But this is kind of a bad way to do lips because it forms them too much, so they look kind of cartoonish and poofy. A better way is to draw the like just the like middle of the mouth. A lot of animes kind of do this, where they just kind of have it like this. So if I do just this, the lips kind of usually have a little like they kind of curve up like this a little bit. So even if someone's like frowning or just kind of a neutral expression, having just a little dot like this, you can already see kind of lips forming. The like lips usually kind of line up to like the eyes a little bit like this. Usually for proportions, what you're looking for is looking where other things are like lining up, essentially. So my mouth is a little small here, but that's fine. For the top lip of the lips, don't like do this where you like kind of like do that, because it'll be a little too like filling it out. A better way is to just shade it. just do shading, and just doing shading, you just kind of get the general shape of the lips because, another little lesson, because what do I call it? Oh, deadlines. Is okay. The chin. Does the chin need work? I think the chin's fine. If you're trying to go for like a more anime style or whatever style you want to go for, it's fine. It's mainly just the placement of things. I just fucking deafened myself like a chud. You're good. You're good. You're good. No, the chin is actually good. I think. It doesn't matter really, like the shape of it. Like if you're trying to be more stylized, what matters more is like the proportions of things. But we're gonna talk about the planes of the face. This can also really help you with proportions and stuff a lot. This is actually kind of how I really learned proportions, is the planes of the face and looking at the planes of objects. But pretty much what the planes of the face means is like what like how your face sticks out and how it's like angled and stuff and how you can make things kind of look 3D. So this planar face, it's called a planar face because it literally shows all the planes of the face and like all the sides is like just one little side. It's not just like a smooth this, you know, it's very jagged. But we can see here the biggest like shapes that make up the planes of the face. So the first one is the sunglasses or the goggles of the eyes. So just draw a very basic kind of sunglass shape and connect it like this, because this connection part, we might not see it, but it is technically in shadow. It's called your gabula. It's right above your nose. This kind of part right here, the gabula. And that is a little bit in shadow because right here you can see it's facing like, it's like pointed like this. If your face is like a flat surface, your gabula is like this. And so are your eyes. Your eyes are kind of inside your face by like half an inch. That's why they're usually in shadow. So we'll just color this in shadow and stuff. This will usually have a little less shadow, but it's better just for practice to do it all in like one color shadow. This is like the goggles or the sunglasses, however you want to imagine them. Now the sides of the nose usually get a little bit of a shadow, so just kind of do like one of these shapes. You can do kind of like a triangle or whatever. So like this side of the nose usually gets a little bit of shadow because even if it's in light, it's like usually like it's like going inwards and like it's not like the top of the nose. The top of the nose usually gets a lot of shadow because it sticks out like this. This is like, and most lighting, even if it's straight on, because of your thing, like how the planes of the face are, most lighting that kind of goes downwards, which is like 90% of lighting, your shadows are going to be the same like this. Now for the bottom of the nose, because the nose is like a ball, this is called the ball of the nose, half of it is going to be in shadow. You just kind of do a ball, like half a ball shape, or you can just do like a ball like this, but like half a ball shape, and then kind of do a bit of like a W for the thing. Your little nostrils right here actually will catch a little bit of light usually. Let me just erase right here. They'll catch a little bit of light because they do stick out a tiny bit. So we have the bottom of the nose here, and then we have your lips right here. I forget what this is called. This little part will usually have a little usually have a little bit of shadow, but we're not gonna draw it right now. The lips. Now this is why I said earlier why it's better to draw the top lip like in shading. Because the top lip, your face is like this, like I said before. Your top lip is usually sticking out like this. This is like your top lip, and then your bottom lip kind of sticks out like this. So your top lip is usually gonna be in shadow. Let me just draw some shadow. It doesn't even have to be a thick shadow, just to like get it really. And then the bottom lip is usually in light. So underneath it is gonna be in shadow because your lips kind of go like this, and then your chin sticks out. So this is also gonna be in shadow a little bit. And then you know, you have your chin, and then that's a real basic view of like, this is a really basic head. And then you can go a little bit further, like your cheek, like your side of your head, your cheek side right here, kind of goes like, it's like, it's not sticking out. It's like sideways like this. But like that's why like sometimes you'll see like characters like this with like kind of strong cheekbones like that. It's because like you have a little more angular face. So, like this side of the face will be like a little bit more in shadow. Looking for shadows and stuff will really help your proportions, and looking for the specific shapes of shadows really helps as well with proportions. Let me get a let me do it from the side, because the side is also will help you visualize it more. Let's draw this circle, and very basic shape of the head. Okay. Okay. Start with the eyes again. Eyes again are kind of like a little bit of a sunglass, so just kind of do a little bit of a sunglass shape. This is a bad head already, but that's okay. Because they go kind of like this. Little bit of like a staircase. Your eyebrows kind of come out like this. Your eyes go in. Then your nose sticks out like that. Goes in. Like that, and then your top lip kind of goes like this. It sticks out, or it goes in again, so it's in shadow. Bottom lip. Then it goes in again, so this gets in shadow, and then your chin sticks out, and then there, and then there. It's a real basic. It's a really bad. Let me do that again. But this is like the basic kind of view of what the head is, and like the shapes of like the shadow shapes of everything and stuff. Let's do one of these. And I'll help you see, doing like really angular at first will help you see kind of everything. So everything that kind of goes in on your face, like your eyes, they go in, your the bottom of your nose goes in, so that's gonna be in shadow. Top lip, that goes in, so that's in shadow. Let me do it the other way. I'm not obstructing anything. So this is gonna be in shadow. This is gonna be in shadow most of the time. This is gonna be in shadow because it goes in as well. And then yeah, your chin will should have shadow. These are the very basic building blocks of the face, and how the planes of it affect where your shadows are gonna be 90% of the time. Even just putting in those shadows, even when you don't see them, is a good idea to really get like a read of the face and making the look kind of 3D. Again, just place the ears, look for the eyebrow. So like top of the ear will be like right here, and then the bottom of the ear like the ear. So like kind of like this. Ears are really hard to do because ears look really fucking weird. You never really think that ears look weird until you look at them and try to draw them, and you're like, they look fucking weird as fuck. So just yeah. So just a good idea is keep them kind of blocky actually, because then it looks a lot. It honestly looks a little better when it's kind of blocky. There's a lot of angles to it. Now we can see like from like a third quarter view. So like third quarter view to be like this kind of view. Oh, God. Really hard to do this without reference. Yeah. Everyone starts out doing the third quarter because, like, I don't know. I actually stopped doing it for so long that I kind of forgot how to do it. But for third quarter view, your nose kind of sticks out like this and stuff. We all know that. So all the planes are this kind of same and stuff. Now for the eyes, you can see the eyes here. Your nose is going to be covering your eye, depending on how much your head is turned. So your eye's actually going to be covered. It's going to change shape a little bit. It's gonna be covered a little bit by your nose. And this, you should apply this even if you don't draw a nose, even if you draw a nose like that, like just a little line. Even in stylized works, the eye getting covered like that by the nose, even if you can't see the nose, is still there and it's still present. So like we can see here in this My Hero art, you can see like her eye shape is still being affected by her nose, even though her nose is literally like a greater than sign. It's literally just this, you know. And even here with Deku, like his nose is there, barely, but it's still affecting his eye shape. And so that's an important thing to really see, is this view of the eye and like how like things overlap and stuff. That's a really good thing to keep in mind. Take it easy, man. Let's see. So I'm gonna kill myself, man. Anyways, so I'm gonna draw this planar head just in like the shadows. I'm just gonna look at the shadows really, and that's all I'm gonna draw from it, just so you can see like how much shadows really affect 3D-ness, and like how like just that can like really show. And also it's a good idea to practice with just drawing shadows, to see shadow shapes. Shadow shapes really inform your model and stuff. So right now I'm gonna start drawing off this shadow of like kind of the corner of your eye that has really dark shadows. Usually that'll be one of the darkest shadows in the face because it's so like inside your face. And then again it comes down like that, like that. The nose is kind of covered like this. And we have a shadow shape. It almost connects to the like cheek one, but it doesn't quite. Then we have the lips. Actually, let me do the nose first. Let me do this in the staircase. We have a little bit of shadow. Just when you're looking for shadow shapes, it's actually a good idea to blur your eyes when you're looking at something, because it'll help you see like the biggest shadows, and it'll help you separate your lights and darks a lot more. If I blur my eyes as I look at this, I can see a little shadow right here, a little bit right here, and then we have this right here. We have the top of the lip shadow. We can see shadows actually kind of connect a lot, depending on the side. Not depending on the side. Like if one side's in shadow, a lot of the shadows are going to connect to it, so it's a good idea to connect them. When you see that. Then we have the lip kind of cuts right here. Bottom lip, like under the bottom lip shape right here. Then we have the chin. Half of it is sticking out, but most of it's in light. Then we have the rest of the face. Now, things in shadow, don't, like, if there's, like, details in the shadow, just don't draw them. You don't have to, because they're going to be in shadow, for practice mainly. Sometimes you will see them in things in shadow, but it's better to just leave them way less detailed, or just not draw them at all, because you're just not going to see them. They're going to be in shadow, so you don't need them. And the eye, like, because the eye is a ball. It's a ball, and it's getting somewhat hit by the light. Half of it's going to be in shadow like this. Like that. And then half of the head is kind of in shadow. And then nose right here is in shadow. So we can see, just with only drawing the shadows, this looks like a face. It reads as a face, and the read of things is really important. You can see this and see, like, yeah, that's a face. That's the main important thing you want to practice on, is getting good reads on objects and stuff, and getting kind of the general shapes of them. Yeah. And then we have the neck here, which is shadow. Boop. Your head does a really cool thing. That's really fun. Where it just kind of does a straight line for your neck shadow. There's details in the neck, obviously, but that informs a lot of the shape and like the light direction and stuff. So it's real convenient that your hearts do that. Then like that, and that's the very basics of like just looking at shadow, focusing on them, and then you get a pretty good read of a person's face. Uh, and a good thing is when you're drawing, especially physically, is to like take a step back, look at it from afar, and see if like from afar it looks like a face. Like I'm all the way back here, and that's looking a lot like a face just from stepping back a little bit. Um, and this is me just doing the basic, very general shadows. You know, there's a lot deeper ones. There's a lot of more subtle ones, but it's better when you're starting out to just look at something, blur your eyes, and see uh, the big shadows, the big shadow shapes, and the big light shapes, and just keep them like that, and just focus on those mainly, especially when you're starting out. Um, and yeah, pretty much it. There's a lot more finer details that we can go into later, but this is kind of the basics of how the head looks like, how what the things to look for. Mainly, the main thing about drawing is is teaching yourself how to look at things and like really analyze them, and really see things that you don't usually notice. You know, like we don't usually notice that ears look weird, but once you start drawing them, you notice that. You know, we don't usually see like the little shadows in here, or like that the shadows even are making a fit like the face look 3D. But when we really like look at that and then execute it, like right here, and draw it out, you can really see how much shadows are like the main thing that form us. Even in stylized works, the shadows can really inform a lot of stuff. Let me get some images from one of my favorite mangas, The Climber. Uh, it's a good image to use. We'll use this one. Oh, it's so low quality. I hate Google. Can we kill Google? Save as. My God. I'm just gonna copy it. Boop. It'll be smarter. Okay. Mainly this character is drawn in black and white, and there's actually not a lot of shading on him, but we can see that the artist is using hatching lines. Hatching is kind of like doing this to make shadows instead of like doing straight lines. So anyone who makes manga uses hatching. Any artist really uses hatching. Really, is yeah. But we can see here like this eye doesn't have like any hatching, but under the eye because the it's kind of going in, eyelid sticking out. This is getting a little bit of hatching. Go into here. Examples of like shadow work. Like we can see here, his top of the nose of Deku's nose right here is getting lighting because it's sticking out a little bit. And that helps read a lot more. Fucking Goku. What was I gonna say? What's his name? Bakugo. Bakugo. The left side, the right side, but the left side from our view of his face is like in light. So like just this part is getting light, but this light, his nose is also catching light because again, the nose sticks out like this. So like this part is getting just a little bit more light. It's a little bit, but it's enough for you to read his face and stuff. Obviously because it's not real dark shadows. It's not like, you know, the main focus of the art, and there's still detail even though he's like in shadow. But this is just like very light shadowing and stuff. But to make a better point, you can see how much shadowing can affect and make things look 3D, and how these characters, even though they're stylized and stuff, look really 3D because of how the lighting is hitting them and stuff, and how that can help you with proportions. You will just think, oh, I'm just gonna draw the proportions exactly what I see. I'm gonna see the lines like this, but you can only really get that good at drawing like noses and like other parts of the face once you really practice and see how the shadows hit on them. That alone will help your proportions a lot, is just focusing on shadows and stuff. So I would recommend going on Pinterest, just looking up like portraits and seeing exactly and just like practicing and drawing just people you see. A great website actually. Let me change. A great website for actually getting my window capture. Uh, getting freaking references is the website Line of Action. Line of Action. Let me look it up. The Line of Action is really good for practices and stuff. Figure drawing, I really like figure drawing and stuff. But what do you do? We're not gonna do figure drawing. This is for later if you want to do a lesson on figure drawing and like getting your gestures and your proportions really right. Uh oh, that's it. Um, uh-oh. Uh, but yeah, we can go to the faces and expressions portion. So you just go to faces and expressions. Select all the expressions you want to do or whatever. I'll just select all. And you can display images for a certain amount of time. This will train you to draw things a lot faster, and kind of force you to really do things as fast as possible. I'm gonna do 2 minutes, for each drawing, or I'll just do one drawing. Let me see if I can position this in a good way. Okay, like that. Right now. Okay. Because I have two monitors, is gonna I could have done it the other way, but this is better for me to show on one screen. Now then, switch my window capture again to. Sorry, okay. So this is a good way to practice drawing fast. You can get pretty good images and images from it. So just show like a quick drawing of the face. Also the lightings are usually pretty nice. So you can see. I'm just gonna focus on shadows. So like her nose is like this. We can see, like, if we blur our eyes, like most of her face is like half of her face is already in shadow. So it's not a bad idea to just go in straight with and just kind of put half her face in shadow, right here, and just make a pretty big shadow shape. You can just erase later to just don't do them very dark at first, but the general shape of like half her face is in shadow. Her top lip kind of getting a little light, or let me start with nose actually. Nose is a good place to start, like the middle of your face. Her nose goes out a little bit. Her eyes, even though it's in the light side, it's still gonna be a little dark because of your eye sockets kind of just going in a little bit. She's smiling right here, and we can see that the lifelines right here are making a shadow like this. So she's kind of got a bit of like a neutrally happy face, so she kind of looks gay already. Yeah. It's usually like failures and like kind of understanding art and like proportions and things, and so like things look just a little bit not human. Like there's like a little bit of things that like not look that healing. Uh, so yeah, that was the first face. Wait, oh, I didn't hit start. Dang it, I didn't hit start. But this is a pretty, like, I'm just only looking at the shadows, and so like let me erase. Let me turn this to eraser. Let me just carve out her head a little bit. like that. For hair, if you want a very quick lesson on hair, for hair, just make it like a big kind of shape. Don't like draw every strand. Everyone's very tempted to do strands or whatever. Just make it all as one big shape, and that will be fine. Because drawing every strand is pointless. And just drawing the big shapes of the hair will help you. Will be a lot better for your like workflow. It looks a lot less like kind of weird because if you do every strand, it just kind of starts looking really weird. It's just really inefficient. And when we look at hair, we don't see every little strand, you know. We notice them if we really focus on it, but when we look at hair, we just see the big shapes of it. And yeah, you can see these are pretty okay. This is a fine 2 minute. I mean, it was longer than teeth. Don't draw teeth like individually. Draw them like just one big shape, kind of. Don't draw them individually because then it looks weird. So let me try to draw her face really fast. So if I try to draw her teeth, like on this side, it looks creepy if I do this, right? And then we kind of do like that. It looks unfucked. It looks weird. You can do like lines like this, but overall, just trying to make them one. Don't really draw them all individually. It just looks weird. Okay, another face. This one I'm gonna try to actually draw him. So that, like that. Your skull is kind of weird in that it's not like a circle. You have like when you look at it like a skull or like you draw like a skull, it's you kind of have to give your head a little bit of an alien head because the back of your skull right here juts out a lot, and then goes in, and then like I'll draw the next one like a skeleton so you can see what I mean. Then yeah, let's see, half his face like this. So let's start with the lips. I don't really have a certain spot I start it with, really. I usually kind of just see like what's the most like prominent thing or like something that draws my eye immediately, and I'm like, I'm gonna draw that first, and then just draw a little like dot or whatever for the curve up of the lips because they do that. He has a bit of a wider nose. Do this, a little bit of a wider nose. When you're practicing, you don't really have to look at like people's details like that, but everyone's like planes of the face. The planes of the face, if you remember, are like exactly the same pretty much. They don't really change at all. People's features change. Like this guy has a wider nose than the other person we saw. But the planes of the face, the shadows, usually fall all in the same place. Like 99% of the time. So it doesn't matter really their details as much when you're trying to get the general read. What matters is big shapes. And then you can go in with detail later of like how the person looks and stuff. And his hair and just one big shape kind of. I'm really just kind of doing like really basic things. It's the same guy. So if I were trying to draw this guy's skull, actually I'm gonna skip this one because I want a better view of the skull. We'll get. It's unfortunate that this is like expressions, so I can't really get a read of it. A lot of. I just want a person's skull. Sure. So we'll see the skull right now. Learning how to draw skulls also will help you with the proportions of things because it's your skull. That's what everything's built off of. Let me just draw a basic circle. So if I had a skull reference, that would be easier. If I remember, your eye sockets are pretty big. Usually when you're sketching, it's actually good to draw out the eye sockets. Because it'll help you place the eyes like in the middle, and then you can also see where like the shadows are gonna fall. Kind of just draw them as like this. Don't just draw like the eye individually. Better to draw the socket. nose is like, I think mostly cartilage or whatever. There's like a little bit of bone sticking out right here. That's why we usually have like a little right here. That I think is what it looks like. Wait, I need to pause you. I want to timer. See. So then we have your top jaw. Kind of looks a little bit like this. I've actually never drawn someone's like skull. I don't think. Uh, your eye socket again. We can see again an example of the eye going in. Your eye socket kind of goes in like that, and then sticks out like that. Especially on a skull, you'll definitely notice it more on a skull than on a person. And your head kind of goes like this. Got a big back of the skull. Your brain's in there, and then it kind of goes in like this. Then the bottom of your skull, your lower jaw, this part right here, like that, connects right there. There's actually a little opening right here, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly. A little bit of an opening. Then your teeth is gonna be right here, teeth, and then you have your bottom jaw. You can see right here, like, tip of a little bit, like that, and that's a real basic skull. Put it all in shadow. Your kind of skull kind of has a little bit of a like that. That's a little bit in shadow. This is gonna be shadow because there's nothing there. Your nose. And then yeah, and then the bottom. Then other things will be in shadow, but this is a real basic skull. Lighting wise, like how are things gonna fall if if I were to have lighting? Where is it gonna be? Let's just draw a little sun right here to lighting, and I want it to hit like this. So I'm gonna go in. We can look at this guy for reference. We're gonna make these just in shadow, just for general purposes. This is gonna be in shadow because it's facing away from the light. It's on the other side. It's on this side. Then like it'll probably be like this, the shadow, because your head is like a skull. It's like a sphere. Like half of it is gonna be like in light. You can see right here his gabula is still in shadow, so it's a little bit of a connection point. And then just put all that in shadow. Your cheeks right here actually will catch the light a lot because they stick out so much. So your cheeks around this area usually make like a little bit of a triangle shape. It'll be a different shape on a skull, obviously. But I'm just gonna keep that there. And then jaw sticking out. That, and then this. Actually gonna go a little bit lighter with the shadow just so we can see this in shadow. And there we go. Big. It's actually kind of good to go really light with your shadow at first, so you can make darker shadows. So here I have real light shadows. Let me actually erase this shadow. Rat storm. There we go. Okay. And then we can go in with darker shadows to inform things that even in the shadows there's still shadows. So like right here we'll have a darker shadow. This is gonna have a darker shadow because it's kind of inside more. This part will have a little bit more shadow, and then the bottom is gonna have more shadow because it's at the bottom. Yeah, let me try to do that with a normal face, but thought here the skull. Fun to draw skulls is really fun to draw skulls, and it'll also help with the placement of things as well. So let's draw just a normal face. See. Actually, let me just get a picture. So let's scroll through a picture. Patrick Bateman. We'll get Patrick fucking Bateman. Why not? Insert as reference. There's a button you can press, but yeah, you can push that. So try to draw Patrick Bateman here. Get him out. He's already over. So again, his head. There's something called the Loomis method of drawing a head. I think it kind of goes like this. You draw the circle or whatever. Then you have another circle right here. This is like the side of your head. And you do like kind of like this, and this is supposed to like inform like your eyebrows or whatever. So like this would be your eyebrows. It's just gonna go down like this, and then I think this is gonna be like your nose, and then like I don't know. I don't know how to do it really. I don't usually use that method, but it's a method you can look up and look into. Draw his face. Look. Oof. Okay, whatever. Then your jaw kind of goes up like this, connects to your ear, and your ear is gonna be like that. Straw real boxy ear. There's a pretty big bottom earlobe. And then his head. And it goes like this. Actually pointing downwards a little bit. Ever so slightly. Like because of the angle of the picture. This is a lower angle. So like this. That. Okay. Let's draw him. So his nose is like the most prominent thing. Kind of like this. This is the ball of his nose. And that makes that M shape on the top. Hold it in. Like this. Like that. His eyes again, the sockets. And then lips. Okay. Real basic sketch. We'll go in some more detail right now. So his jaw kind of is more like this. That juts out forwards a little. This is one of these straight lines, and then half it's just a straight line, so we can low-key kind of just do one of these. Then we see this cheek sticking out. It goes in like this. Then it go back out again. And there you go. That's his basic side of the head. His chin then goes in right here, and then it goes into his jaw. Then go like that. Probably don't draw straight out as like a line, because it'll separate the head too much from the neck, which we don't want. Just gonna draw a basic neck again. And then his ear again kind of goes in like this. I'm gonna keep it very boxy because looks better. There we go. And then I do one of these. Just kind of draw just gonna draw real basic things of the ear. Okay. Now with his eyes, we can see we have the sockets here already, so we kind of know where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna do a basic eye shape. Don't draw eyes like almonds like this. If you're doing more stylized, they'll usually be kind of like a real basic shape, like kind of like a circle like this. But the planes of the face still apply, even if they're gonna be a real anime-esque eyes. Things are still gonna be covered by your nose and stuff, as we saw again with the My Hero art. His eyes, even I'm drawing them a little bigger here, but that's okay. See his nose, like it's covering a little bit of his eye. Let me actually draw the nose first here. He has a pretty... I don't know if I'm just looking at him for the first time, but he has a little bit of a big nose. Lips. Fucking Patrick Bateman. These... Your lips actually kind of make certain shapes like this. So like if I was doing his like inner line first, I would kind of do it like this. That, a bit of an M, and then like this, so we can get a little bit more read of like more pursed lips. Doing that kind of badly. But again, don't put too much detail on the lips; they'll look weird. And then let's do his other eye. Just right now. Actually, kind of getting covered a little bit. Yeah. Now let's go into some shadows. First, let's do his hair. His hairline is kind of that. A little basic. Just carve it kind of out. Goes down a little bit. Most people's hairlines looks like this. And then again, just draw a big shape. Really, don't gotta draw every strand of his hair. Goes downwards, darkly, and he has a bit of a mullet in the back actually, just a tad bit of one. To get that slick look, you could also, his hair kind of sticks out like this. You could kind of go like this, and then just draw kind of big parts of his like more slick back thing to get like the hairstyle you want. But again, hair, just make it a big shape. Don't gotta go in with details with it at all. Yep. His eyebrows again. Now this kind of, people without eyebrows look really weird. So just draw in the eyebrow, kind of sketch it out. Really, you don't have to make it too good. His eyebrow shape is a little weird actually. I kind of flip flop on how I draw eyebrows, but for this, I'm gonna do just a kind of like a rectangle shape. It kind of his expression. He's kind of got a, he furrows his eyebrows a little bit. I think just kind of naturally, but he's kind of doing like a Sigma pose right now. So he's doing a little bit of eyebrow furrow. Okay. We have his head, pretty basic here. Now we're gonna do shadows. Put his eyes in now. His eyes, just do like, don't do like don't put too much detail in the irises. Also, when doing portraits, they look a little weird. You can actually, what I used to do is I used to just kind of blur them out like this. I'll do it right now just so you can see. I used to just kind of do like a blurry like blob like this for the eye. Kind of got a squint going on. Let me make it a little more of a squint. Just kind of just like really roughly sketch it in. And then like, I'll just do this right now so you can see. Just to give it a little life, I'll just give him a little dot of white, and then he kind of has a little bit more life in him. But we'll do just lines. I like doing just kind of lines for the eyes. The iris. Okay. Now it's shadow. Let's see. Yeah. We're gonna do with opacity 50. So we have a shadow right here. It's gonna draw a general shadow over his eye sockets. I know they're gonna be in shadow no matter what. Bottom of his nose, all of his nose is gonna get shadow. Top lip is gonna get shadow. Make my brush size a little lower. There we go. Bottom lip is gonna get shadow, and the bottom of his neck. And then the lighting's it's kind of straight on him, but a little bit behind him. The lighting would be like around right here. Bottom of his neck shadow. Because his cheek is kind of catching light, so he has. Let me look at the bigger shadows, and let me not get too concerned with that right now. His eye this like eye brow right here uh is casting a shadow into his like nose a little bit. So it kind of looks like this. And then we have a little bit of a curve because the nose and also a little bit of laugh lines. Then you can see his nose is casting a shadow down to his lips. That. And then scapula in shadow a little bit. Forehead in shadow. And so this is the shadow side. Define it really simply right now. It's actually his bottom and top lip are in shadow. Because most of his face in shadow. So let's actually put both of them in shadow. So we have real basic shadows for Patrick right here. Then his ear right here, you can see the bottom of his ear. Casting shadow again because the light is kind of directly above him. For the hair, again, go back on hair. Just again, keep it a real dark shape. Even light hair, kind of, but most hair, just keep it a real dark shape. And then you can go in with highlights later. Sometimes you don't even have to do that for it to look good. Unless the highlights are really, really prominent. Just keep the hair a real dark, rough shape. Don't have to worry about hair very much. Not important right now. Now let's go in with some deeper shadows. Your eyebrow, right? Your eye right here, the corner of your eye, usually has pretty deep shadows because of it's so like in your face or inside of your face. See right here, bit darker right here, shadows. Top lip, even though the top and bottom lip are both in shadow, I'm gonna define the top lip more by adding more shadow to that. Bottom lip already has gotten some, or the under the bottom lip has gotten some shadow. We have some pretty dark shadows here in the neck. Let's cover this up. So I'm just gonna go real dark in there. I'm actually get rid of the sketching layer. Where else we're seeing some dark shadows under the ear because it's so dark. The ear has some shadows right here, a little bit right there. Then where else we got some shadows? Nose actually is catching a lot of light. Then we can go in later, make the eyes a lot more. Actually, you can see here the eye is usually like halfway in shadow as well, because again it's a ball. So like kind of like this view, we're seeing a little bit of his eye. What his eye looks like in shadow. And again, corners gonna just be a little bit darker than the rest. Then we're just gonna ignore everything in the real dark side, and let's just define his eye a little bit. Make it a little bit more like he's alive. Gonna keep his iris be real dark. It's a little too big. Gross. There we go. And then, like I said before, just adding a little bit of white will really bring him to life. But before I do that, I'm gonna go a little bit more darker with the shadows, especially with his nostril a little bit. Here, right here is a little bit darker shadow. The top lip again is in shadow. But even the sides of the top lip are gonna be just a little bit more in shadow than the rest. I'm gonna draw a little bit more. That, and even the sides of the bottom lip are gonna be a little bit in shadow because they are going in a little bit. I realize I'm using the wrong opacity. Like that. Gonna be a little bit more in shadow. Like that. And then just to add a little bit, let's make the side a little bit more dark too. You're kidding. And let's just give him a little bit of light. So we just take some white, not pure white, We don't usually like using pure white or pure darks in drawings because it's a little weird. You can do it, but people usually say never to do it because early on, especially, it'll make things look very unrealistic if you use straight white or straight dark. Um, a common rule for art is like you can break the rules once you know them. It's a good thing to really keep in mind. We're just gonna give him a little bit of sparkle right there, and then right here. And see, looking a little bit alive. He's looking a little bit like a freaking fella. I'm actually gonna go in and make his eye, define his iris a little bit, or his. I think so. Yeah, that's a real basic. Yeah, right there. I didn't take too long. I probably took 10 minutes. But really, the important things. Shadow. Let me just take away all the line work. You can see a lot of the read is still there, even when it's gone. Especially when we look far away, that still looks like his face specifically. When we look away, look far away, especially. I mean, and again, shadows. Look at shadows. Yeah, that's a pretty good pretty much it for shadows. Yeah.